What up guys, welcome back to another Earth 2 video. This one is going to be a tutorial on how you basically use the Holo Building editor within the Earth 2 webpage. Okay, now let's get started. So obviously you guys know how to get into the Earth 2 webpage. I've just created this real quick just to show you how simple it can be. Okay, a basic Pikachu image. Let me just change a few things. So a basic Pikachu building, all right, using a kind of small hack that I'm going to teach you guys. So Pikachu building, you can kind of rotate it. Despite my 32 gig RAM computer with 8 gigs graphic card, it still stutters and lags like a mother. I'm just going to show you how to do this real quick. First and foremost, what you want to do, okay, let's get out of this view. What you want to do is download a program called Overlay 2.1. Now you can find it there, colinthomas.com/overlay. You want to download either the Mac or Windows version. Okay, install that. Once you install that, you open the program up and it will look something like that. Okay, it's kind of this transparent looking window. You want to open a file, you know, let's just say you want to do something really quirky. Okay, you want to do a building in the shape of this Pikachu. Now you want to click float, okay, and essentially what that does, right, is it gives you this overlay on top of your land, so you can still technically access everything underneath this. Okay, you can still access your Earth 2 window. So you click on create blueprint, okay, and there you go, you have an outline that you can technically just follow. Okay, so click on the polygon tool here. Then you start creating your little building in the shape of the Pikachu. Just pretty much follow it, right? You don't need, you know, to use anything fancy, you know. Save you on your creative juices. I know a lot of people want to be creative. That's fine. This is just a little small hack. If any of you guys want to create something, a building that's a bit, you know, odd in shape, obviously if you do circles and squares, that's basically too easy. And you can also use this tool, let's say if you wanted to do a perfect circle or close to perfect, right? If you use the tool and if you download the free version, you'll have a pop-up window like this, but that's fine, just move it out of the way, right? So yeah, if you wanted to create a circle, as opposed to just clicking and trying to your best to make something look as spherical or as round as possible, you can kind of just use this overlay tool and follow the circle overlay, and then if you know, you'll be able to create something really nice and nifty. So back to where you started, and there you go. Just like that, you can kind of create a silhouette, a building in the outline of your image. Now, there's a few things you want to do. Obviously, you want to cut these out, and I'll show you how to do that using these tools, okay? So once you've created your Pikachu, right, grab it, move it out of the way, okay? Move it out of the way, because now you can start working on these things. So you're going to want to do these circular, you know, cheek thunderbolt things that Pikachu has. So you have one, and then you want to create this one. So once you have all the pieces, you then want to move piece by piece into where you want to merge them, and there's a tool that you'll want to use. So now that you've got that, grab it, let me move it, okay, grab that and put it over where you want it to be. It'll say issues detected, obviously, because it's saying, well, you can't put a building within a building, but technically you can. You just need to use a certain feature. You use this button here, difference. Okay, now let me show you that again. So you grab whatever it was, you move it over the top. All right, you click on the little piece, okay, then you click on the big piece and you click on this one that says difference. Essentially what it does is it cuts out that section that was within. It detects, it knows that there's a building within the larger building and you want it to cut out the difference. Hold shift to select both and click difference, okay, and now you've basically got a Pikachu. building. Okay, I'm just going to turn off this overlay real quick. Okay, so I've turned off the overlay, and using that simple overlay hack, right, you can now create buildings in the shape of your favorite characters. So there you go. Alright guys, now that you know how to do those quirky shapes using that little hack, that overlay hack, let's look at just some basic stuff. So, click on this square tool, make a rectangle, okay? Now the thing is, you're thinking you're looking at a top-down view, but there's still some kind of angular rotation here, because if I zoom in, see here, I wish it was literally top-down, but it's still kind of like a 3D approach. So in order to select this kind of building block that you've just made, if you click the white bit, nothing happens, right? Because you think, oh, I'm clicking on the box, but it's not. You have to click within this blue box in order to select it. All right. So you created a basic block. Now you're probably thinking, how do people stack stuff? Well, it's pretty standard, right? I'm gonna make a smaller box, okay, and stack it on top. So if I move this on top, it'll say there's an issue detected, because it's saying you have a box within a box. You can't actually do that. What you can do, I'll show you a few things. That's the box inside, right? Then you click on the box outside. You hold shift, click on the box outside. You can cut into it, right? You can do what we did with the Pikachu, cut into it. So that's one thing you could do. Alternatively, you can stack it. So this original box here is height is 5, so 5 stories high. Obviously, you have to now make this internal box elevation 5. Okay, and then all of a sudden it will fit. It will actually work, because you've changed it. You've said that this is 5 stories high. In order for this box, it has to be at least elevated 5 stories above what's below it. Okay, and you can kind of just keep doing that, stacking it up, higher and higher. Now, a quick tip, I don't know if I said that previously before, but you want to clone this, right? Any shape that you're using frequently over and over and over and over again, you want to clone. So click that. All right, you want to click the shape, click clone, because then you know it's the exact shape, it's the exact size, and you don't have to clone it over and over again. So if you double click this, all right, I can reshape it. So I'm going to make it smaller, right? And now I'm going to stack it, on top of the other one. So now this has to be elevation 10, okay? So this was elevation 5. No, sorry, this was base. This was elevated 5. And then obviously in order to elevate on top of this, you have to do another 5. Okay, and that means it's 10 elevation. So people are doing basic buildings like that. Okay, people cutting into stuff. Now let me see if I can show you a few other tools. So you have to make sure, guys, that you have to click the blue piece. If you don't click the blue piece, like it gets really confusing. This is not the most intuitive and user friendly, but it's what we got. Okay, so let's make it back on level 1. So now what can I do with this? Let's just say I wanted to make the bottom building, which was a rectangle, something different. You know, I just wanted to make it a bit different. So I'm going to click my small piece. I'm going to click my big piece. I can cut into it. All right. And now it's a kind of more unique shape building. All right. But that was the long way around. Technically, you could have just used the polygon tool, done that, done that, done that, done that, done that, and that. See? So it's a unique shape, right? And like I said, if you're using multiple shapes like this, click it, clone it, you have another piece, triple click it, rotate it. Okay, rotate it. And now you can kind of build like, you know, a little mega city going on here. Rotate it. The problem is it's not as snappy as I want it to be. So, you know, rotate it and, you know, play around. So that's kind of basic stuff. Look, if you go on the other page, on the official page, look, this fella who we got, Lorenzo's up to 78. He's got 78 different buildings, and God knows how complex and how long he had to do that. Now, let's take a look at what others are building and see if we can do something similar. Okay, so this is fairly basic. No offense to James. James, this is great building. But what he's done is he's stacked. I don't know if we can zoom in here. At the bottom, there's a couple of pillars, all right? And on top of those pillars, he's put a block. On top of that block, he's put another block, and he's made his tower. Okay, so not too hard to do. Now that you guys know. Let's look at a few others, okay? So this one, I would use the polygon tool. Okay, I would use this tool. I would create my polygon, and I'm just assuming this is what he did. Could be wrong. And where you start off with, right? And then just create an elevation there. So he's done that. He's elevated it up however many, and I don't know what this middle thing is. He's obviously cut into it somehow. Okay. This is, wow. This is fantastic. Corey, bloody oath. This is fantastic, mate. I don't know how long you spent on this, but kudos to you. This is amazing. So you can technically do this. Like I said, he's built a couple of blocks here. He's built squares, which is kind of just stacked on top. Okay. In order to do this shape, maybe he's used the polygon tool in order to make the shape. I'm not too sure. But like I said, this shape, right? You can make this shape, and then you copy it, you clone it, and then all you need to do is just change the elevation, the attributes, right? The heights. And then you can kind of just stack them on top of each other. So, and even though it does look like it's really complex, all you need to do is create one side. And again, I don't mean all you need to do, like it's easy, but you create one side, and then you can just rotate it, right? Clone it and rotate it so all the other sides look symmetrical. So you create one side, clone it, rotate it, and that's how you would probably, that's how I would imagine doing that. This is pretty much just blocks, so that's how you do that. These are really intricate, really cool, but essentially, and again, I don't mean to undermine anyone, all of these buildings are fantastic, but essentially what you're doing is creating your blocks, your shapes using polygon tool or the square tool, yeah, and just changing the elevation. You'd be surprised how great a Holo building can look when you're just changing the elevation, okay? And just putting a couple of pillars here and doing different size shaped buildings. You know, you don't always have to do a square building, guys. So we got dork sleighs here. Okay, so go forth and prosper, guys. Hopefully you've learnt a few things. Like I said, let's take a look. See, you can do like a really unique building, and then let's see what I can do with this. I'm going to clone this. Clone, so I have one technically there. I'm going to do this on top of this, right? So elevation 5, and I'm going to make it really big. I'm going to do 10. It's saying obviously issues detected because it's not sitting on anything. And what I'm going to do is resize it. So I hope I'm resizing it. So I'm resizing it, making it smaller, right? And now I'm going to sit it on top. Let's sit it on top. Problem with this now is I wish I could get it exactly where I want it to get it. But the tool is a bit fiddly. Okay, let's just, yeah, that's good enough. Okay, zoom out. See, guys, it's not too bad. Okay, so we've done a few things. Let's see if we can stack pillars. Okay, so a few of us want to know how to stack pillars. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a square pillar, but obviously you can do whatever pillar you want. You can do square, you can do circle, you can do whatever pillar. If you want to do a circle pillar, then just use this tool, right? Just create your circular pillar. Okay, that was a really bad attempt, but create your circular pillar. Dun, dun, dun. Right, so it's not really circular, but you know what I mean. So let's say you want to create your circular pillar and you want to stack it on this one. Okay, zoom in so you guys can see. This one's already standard 5. By default, it's 5. Okay, I'm going to do this 5 and I'm going to do this 10. I'm going to grab it, I'm going to move it, and I'm going to put it on top. Okay, so technically speaking, even though it looks like it's off the edge, it technically, oh, I think it is actually. So let's just move it inside. Like I said, you gotta just make sure you look at the blue. Okay, so if you look at it now, the pillar is on top. Okay, so now all of a sudden I've got a pillar. So let's go back. That's one pillar, right? Just clone it, guys. So click on it, click on that blue, and God, it's really fiddly. But anyway, click on that and then clone it, and then you'll have 2. Okay, grab that, put it on top, change the elevation to 5. Yeah, and then all of a sudden you've got kind of a different looking type of building there. Now I want to change this to this. I want to change this. This has hexagonal or whatever shape this is. I want to change it to 10. So it will be the same height as the square. All right. Now what I want to do is create a different level. So I'm going to grab this. I'm going to change this to 10. Then where's the blue? I know it's saying there's issues because obviously it's just elevated into thin air and you can't do that. This is why this is so fiddly, guys. It's so fiddly because it's like you want to find out where the blue is and move it. Okay, so I want to move it on top. Oh no, so what do you have to be? It has to be 15. Yes, because the pillars were 10. And the pillars were 10, and that initial foundation block was 5. So obviously 10 plus 5 is 15, right? And there you go. You can kind of see how weird and quirky it is now, but you know, you get the idea. This is how some people make those chapels and the building of Alexandria, right? This is how some people created these pillars. This is how some people created this pillar. So essentially you create this bottom block, create your pillars, clone a whole batch of them, and then pretty much clone the bottom foundation and then stack it on top. Okay, I mean I'm making it sound easier, but there is some fiddling involved with that. Yeah guys, that's pretty much basically how you would use some of these tools. Okay, hopefully that was helpful and you got something out of it. You know, it was kind of like everywhere, but have fun. Let me know how you go, and if you guys know any tips that I've left out, then please by all means share it in the comment section below. Like I said, a big handy tip is clone. Okay, once you got a shape that you like and you've done all that hard work for just one side of your building, whatever, clone it, put it on the side, rotate it and mess with it as much as you want. Okay, a lot of these buildings, obviously because buildings are quite symmetrical, you only need to build one side and then you just clone it and then rotate it however you see fit. Okay, with that said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.